Never go to the past, not for happiness, not for justification. The world is what it is. You are what you are. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. Slow down and realize that mistakes are essential to learning anything. Time heals almost everything. Give it time. It is good to be generous, benign, and magnanimous, but there's a limit, or you'll be taken for granted. Desires are good, but it is important to recognize the need, the necessity, and the unnecessary. True love never has a happy ending, because there is no ending to true love. Be time conscious. If you still have many mountains to climb, make sure you are diligent enough with each climb, and you will smile at the appointed time. Be careful who you marry, and even more careful who you have kids with. Live to love, love to live. Time will help you realize why certain things did not work out. The more you waste your time, the more you lose the time you need to work on what adds value to your life. Have firm boundaries and be discerning about who you let into your life. Time will always move. Move with it. The pain you feel today would be the strength you feel tomorrow. Some things will not happen now because it is not yet the appointed time, but they will surely happen when the time is right. Time is in motion. It honors the one on a mission to pursue a noble vision. One can be truly truthful only to the self. A life without trust is a life without belief. You may suffer for a while and be disappointed at some point in time, but do not give up. At the appointed time, the disappointments you endured shall pass. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. In order to understand the world, one has to turn away from it on occasion. The cure for internal pain always lies within you. It can never come from anything outside of you. External material cannot bring about inner peace. It's no use wasting time worrying what other people think about you. No one is thinking about you. Children learn by an adult's example, not by their words. You don't have to burn books to destroy a culture. Just get people to stop reading them. He who is not courageous enough to take risks will accomplish nothing in life. Learn how to change a flat tire on your vehicle. Certificates are just a piece of paper, but experiences are better than certificates. Trust no one who does not value their own time. They are more likely to waste your precious time. Life is a ride. The more it is a roller coaster one, the more enjoyable it is. Grant no one access to your time unless they give it the value it requires. Life is a pleasant voyage, until it runs into a typhoon. Everybody comes of age. Very few come alive. Through discipline comes freedom. If you value your time, you will spend it doing what adds value to your life. Life is like a book. Some chapters are sad, some are happy, but all are necessary for the full story. It's okay to fall apart. Those who never fall apart never fly afar. I can tell you good news, but it will be false. I can tell you bad news, but it will be true. Make a choice. Sometimes resignation brings relief. When you lose hope, you no longer bother struggling. You just stay benumbed, like a vegetable, and let your head chopped off by a guillotine so that it ends, once and for all. This is your world. Shape it, or someone else will. Get yourself together before you get any older. The older you are, the harder it is to change. No one is too busy. It's only a matter of priorities. Tears are portal to strength. Insecurity is portal to invincibility. Value your time so well that you will only lend an ear to things that make sense. Even if you have faced one closed door after another, do not give up. The right door will open at the appointed time. Just because you like one thing about a person, you don't need to like everything about them. And just because you don't like one thing about a person, it doesn't mean the person as a whole isn't worth your time. Life isn't fair, but it's still good. Sometimes a person needs to keep things to himself. You don't tell me everything, and that's fine. We all need to keep some stuff locked away. If we didn't, we could end up getting hurt. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Don't look back. You are not going that way. Time flies very fast. Hence, you do not have to wait until the last minute to do what you are required to do in your lifetime. It is not a lack of time. It is a lack of priority. Practice self-compassion. We are all human, and everyone makes mistakes. Time flies, and what will yield good results is to move, just like it does forward. If it keeps you happy, keep it quiet. Of all the liars in the world, sometimes the worst are our own fears. For me, you walked to edge of death, but chose to live, he said. You refuse to stay in a sad dream, even for a promise of love. When you saved yourself, you saved me. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. God knows how to deliver what is meant for you at the appointed time. Do not settle for less at any given point in life because you feel your miracle is taking time. Hold on a little longer and do not give up. Things will eventually work out. Time is more valuable than money because it cannot be replaced. So do not waste your valuable time on things that add no value to your life. You're going to wish that you'd left me in my happy state, but in your efforts to ruin my life, you've activated the hidden strengths in me, and now you're going to lose again. Time is an important factor when planning. A plan without a timeline cannot be well implemented. If you don't ask, you don't get. Never take the responsibility that does not belong to you. You can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. If you want to know how valuable you are, spend your valuable time doing what adds value to life. How you spend your time reflects who you are. If you value time, you will not waste it anyhow. Make time for yourself every day to pause, reflect, review, and, importantly, to celebrate yourself. Light should be shared, not compressed. Never overlook contempt. When someone views you with contempt and talks to you like you're beneath them, they will likely do you harm, whether relationally, socially, or physically. Remove that person from your life. Be proud of how hard you are trying. Time is worth more than material possessions. It cannot be purchased anywhere on this planet. I hope your road hasn't been too challenging. If it has, take heart. I've come to acknowledge that there are some wounds and regrets that time cannot fully erase. However, time provides opportunities for healing and renewal, a shift in composition, and a scar capable of fading. Time is a precious commodity. Learn to value it. Time has a way of allowing the pain of yesterday to pass. That is why sometimes one must learn to be patient and understand that at the appointed time, inner healing will come. There are two paths you can go by, but in the long run, there's still time to change the road you're on. There is no worse opponent than life. What you lose in a fight is nonsense in comparison to what you may lose in life. Go ahead and delete anyone who does not value your time. You have the right to exclude time wasters from your life. If you don't value your time, neither will others. If nobody helps you, do it alone. Time remains a critical judge of how a life was lived and even how a person was able to lead. Do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not. Remember that what you now have was once among the things you only hoped for. Make and keep friends with the people you want to emulate, not the people that you think will be most likely to accept you. The people you associate with will shape your future. Time does not change people. People change with time. Life is far from over, but it's very short too. If you want to do something, don't delay, but don't sacrifice what you want for what you want right now. Enlightenment is a state of being at peace with all things, a state of contentment being a part of all things. It is a state of flow whereby nothing is either good or bad. It just is. Time has a way of revealing the truth in due time. The truth does not know how to hide. Love your life and value your time. You have only one lifetime. Know the value of the appointed time. When you do that, you will not miss your mark. When in doubt, just take the next small step. If what keeps you up at night will not add value to your life now or in the afterlife, you are wasting your time. You must ensure that whatever keeps you up at night is worth your time. What other people think of you is none of your business. When you make wrong choices in life and people keep quiet, it doesn't mean they approve. Most of the time, people speak about wrong choices you make in life when those choices affect them. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. Where there is knowledge of the self, there is salvation. I never look back to see how far I have come. I look back to see how much I have grown and how many lives I have touched. Start saving you money. Don't spend it on homes you can't afford, fancy cars, and running your credit cards to the max. In the end, you'll be much happier. Don't put off important medical checkups. There are only 3 events in a man's life: birth, life, and death. He is not conscious of being born. He dies in pain and he forgets to live. Buy real estate. land, anything you can afford. The less possessions you own, the happier and less burden you will have in your life. True friendship is being supportive of one another through all the changing scenes of life. You may have gone through the toughest times. Give it time and hold on for a little while. At the appointed time, you will be all right. The world is a tragedy to those who feel, but a comedy to those who think. Never force, don't beg, and don't chase. Brood not when you are depressed. Activity alleviates anxiety. Never underestimate the value of time. It has more value than money does. You can replace lost money, but that can never be the case with lost time. Always move in your own direction, not according to society, friends, or family. Be selfish with your time. A lot of people don't deserve it. We're born, we live, we die, we're dust. What we do in the middle determines our legacy. At your lowest, you realize a lot. Thinking is the hardest work there is, which is probably the reason why so few engage in it. Take good care of your health. Without health, nothing will matter. No amount of money can bring you joy if you are suffering. There is no way to avoid criticism in life. One way or another, you will be criticized, whether you are wrong or right. It is a privilege if you are criticized for being right, because at the appointed time, your critics will realize they were the wrong ones. To know your enemy, you must become your enemy. Dignity, family, wealth, it takes different forms. But everyone has something they don't want to see violated. Manage your mood, because if it does not obey, then it commands. Time will keep you on your toes if you know its value. It will constantly remind you to only focus on what adds value. If you value your time, you will not waste it by crying for people who waste it all the time. A true miracle is the inspiration we receive from above to turn thoughts like these into realizations. They aren't magic tricks. They are the inspirations and messages that come in the forms of mental pictures, signs, and synchronicities, and they are happening around us each day. You don't have to lie to tell the truth. One lie of what is happening or what happened makes the whole thing unbelievable and questionable. Time tends to become an enemy to those who are unable to appreciate its significance, but a good friend to those who know how to use it well. Don't leave someone to teach them a lesson. Leave because you learned yours. If he steals for you, he will also steal from you. Don't you? Something you want to protect, even if it costs you your life, something precious. Don't hate the person, hate the action. We are accountable to everything that we do. What goes around comes around. Time is like a bucket of water. You can do anything with it, but once you use it, it is all gone. No one cares except family. Thee may winneth all the races but one, a race 'gainst thy own self. You may be famous today, but nobody knows what tomorrow beckons. Enjoy your fame, but stay humble. Time won't bloom for you forever. Fools seek identity in ancestry. The wise build their identity with sweat and blood. The more sexual partners a woman has had, the more likely she is to be depressed. Nothing is actually as bad as it seems, or as great as you think it will be. The best thing I ever did was stop telling people what's going on in my life. The degree to which you value time determines how time-cautious you become. If dust falls into our eyes, removing the dust is vision, but removing the eyes is blind.